Hello. Oops. Playing Xeno Crisis on the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. I'm more inclined to say Mega Drive because this game was made by Bitmap Bureau from the UK. And of course, the Genesis is the Mega Drive there. And everywhere else but the United States. Canada, I believe. So I'm going to attempt to beat this game again. I've beaten it twice on live streams, but I would really like to have it for posterity on a permanent recording. Okay, here we go. You can choose either John or Sarah. John is a little tougher, can carry a little bit more ammo, but Sarah is more nimble, and that's more my playstyle. Plus, she lets turbo fab while being a badass. The game has two difficulty settings, easy and hard. But really, this game on easy is still like most other games hard. Like, it's... And the difference between easy and hard is not as extreme as it is in other games. Like, this is more like hard and hard plus. Eventually I'll be a big girl and beat this on hard, but... today is not that day, I don't think. But in order to get the real ending and even have an opportunity to fight the final boss, you do have to clear all of the game up to that point without losing any lives. Or using any continues, however you want to put it. So the game doesn't have an upgrade system, and you use these recovered dog tags as currency. Although, I'm sure it's theoretically possible to finish the game without upgrading, that's highly unlikely. The game is semi-random. Like, each level always has the same number of rooms. And the same set of enemies. And any objectives, which are simple, like just getting keys. But there is a variation to exactly what enemies spawn and in what order. So I guess it's somewhat roguelike in that way. But for those with any working familiarity with those games, you can see my previous high score, isn't that shiny? That's from when I beat the game. This is pretty much like Super Smash TV, like an arena shooter. But it definitely also has elements of Contra, Metal Slug, Robotron 2084, of course, which is the granddaddy of like all the twin-stick arena shooters. I've been tending to find that since Sarah is already really nimble, I've been most successful starting with upgrading health. I mean, upgrading health is always a good idea, but also ammo and gun power. I mean, really all of the upgrades are valuable, but those are the ones that I have been finding to get me the best chance of success. Ammo capacity is incredibly helpful, because the less often that you have to dive into the fray to collect an ammo box, the better. But, of course, I'm gonna have to have moments for the soundtrack. in the 90s, who would have thought that the Genesis YM2612 could produce sounds like this? Like, we would have crapped our pants. We'd heard this in the mid-90s. Like, the Genesis can do what? And it's metal as can be. Oh yes, the minigun. The entire cast of Predator approves, but especially Jesse Ventura. Oh look, it's the Viper of Death. Would you like a grenade? How about another? Whoops. How would you just get away from that? I would have been more cautious if I was lower in health, but I knew I could afford to be a little silly. But from here on out, like, I'm definitely not taking any stupid chances on purpose. At least, no. Okay. Just making sure it was still recording smoothly with a good frame rate. Okay. Definitely need more POW. More of that. This is the only level that doesn't have a boss, but it is quite a gauntlet of sandworms and all sorts of badness. It's like a really brutal game of whack-a-mole. Oh yes. Yeah, like, weapon and item drops are random. Now, there's, like, a seed system. I'm gonna pause it. You see the number. So, I mean, I'm no programmer, but my estimation is that the seed determines kind of the chances of particular enemies and item spawns. Just kind of basically determines the RNG of your playthrough. I mean, I've had some that felt at times more favorable, but during the entirety of the run, like, it tends to balance out. Like, I've yet to have one that I can say, like, completely screwed me over. Because really, when you die, it's... I mean, I've had a few instances of something questionably BS, but it's usually like, hey, that was your fault that you died. Oh, shoot. That's the one gun that I don't like. They call it the BFG in the manual. It does have uses for sure. It's more useful in the last level with enemies that have shields, but don't care for it so much on levels where you need to really sustain some consistent fire to keep enemies under control. Since this level doesn't have any keys, that's why I decided to skip the side rooms and just focus on getting to the end. Now, I have yet to determine, like, saving hostages is supposed to have an effect on, like, what happens in the different rooms. I have yet to determine truly what. I would like to think it has a positive effect, but I haven't figured that out for sure yet. But they sound like the guys from Metal Slug when you rescue them, so that alone makes it worth it. And Bitmap Bureau has made this game available for almost every system out there. So if this looks fun, there are a lot of ways to play it, but to me it feels like the Mega Drive was like the baseline of what they intended the experience to be, and then kind of ported it from there and made whatever adjustments were needed for the other systems. Now, I could be wrong. If anyone from Bitmap Bureau wants to correct me on that, by all means. Now, obviously, the Genesis doesn't have any analog controls or other than one freak exception by Micon, there are no analog controllers. So I'm using the D-pad and the 6-button controller. 4 of the buttons on the 6-button controller are acting like a second D-pad, sort of, so that I can fire in multiple directions, and not necessarily always the one that I am moving in. Whereas on the 3-button controller, I believe you're locked. Like, once you start firing, you're locked in that direction, but you can still strafe. So it's a little trickier, but it's doable. And then your other buttons, you've got grenade and roll. And then the mode button ditches a weapon if you pick up one that you don't like. Which I should have read the manual sooner, because my first 2 playthroughs, I would get a gun and I'm like, it's not good for this situation. Let's realize later, like, oh, you could ditch it. These red dudes here leave behind, I would say it's like acid blood, kind of like aliens. Like, you touch it, you take a hit. And this level is one that early on threw me because of that very thing. Like, I kept rolling into that sludge or acid or whatever too quickly. Oops. Sometimes I still accidentally use a grenade when I'm rolling. So it did take me a while to get around to this game. It came out in 2019. Oh, shoot. But Bitmap Bureau has been steadily porting it to other systems. I think, as of right now, the most recent versions were for Super Nintendo and N64. Dang it. I hate that. I hate when I get hit immediately after picking up a medkit. It's like... Shoot. It's almost immediately after getting one right time, right? And the cool thing is, damn, I have this on a physical cartridge, so just plug this bad boy right into the Genesis, and off we go. It's also played on the Nomad flawlessly. But, you know, Bitmap Bureau were really cool about it, and they did what I think a lot of developers should do, is, like, even though I got the physical version, they still offered a complimentary ROM download. So if something ever, you know, horrible or accidental happened to my cartridge, you know, I could still download the game. I really think that should be more of a standard practice. Like, hey, you have the physical version, and then, you know, as a backup, you also have the ability to download it. You know, obviously I wish I'd known sooner that there were still people making Mega Drive games, like, not just hacks and all that, but, like, actual new games, and especially with physical releases. I was like, that's so cool. Like, if this game, I seriously think if it had come out when the Genesis was still on the market, like, it would have been a contender for, you know, an action game of the year. Like, it would be talked about in the same breath as games like Smash TV and Contra Hardcore. Oh, it's the Elder God. Watch out. And also, I realize in the text on the lower right part of your screen, I forgot to put defeating my Genesis Collection Part 8. But, you know. What can you do? Really, I thought the text that's on there right now was too funny to not include. And I realized I should probably be more often showing the cover art of the game I'm playing in the interface, just because, you know, I'm one of those people that really appreciates the artwork of the games. Like, that's one of the things that I enjoy about having the box and manual for a game. Because I like to read them, but also I like to appreciate the art as well. Wow, that was a horrible grenade toss. This boss, at least this phase of the boss, plays a lot like the last boss of Gunstar Heroes, where you have to target the gems. Though surprisingly, it's a little more forgiving than gold and silver. Okay. So far, so good. I'm trying not to get too cocky. It's a hint about the elixirs, which is your continues. Poor Griel. He didn't make it. It's the forest. So the game takes place on Io, one of Jupiter's moons. Since we have a forest, I'm led to assume in the lore of the game that either the moon has been terraformed to some extent, or the colony has some kind of, like, pressurized biosphere, where they can have, like, a hydroponics area, and all that, so... I mean, it's a silly sci-fi arena shooter, it's not meant to be taken that seriously, so I'm probably already reading too much into the lore, but I just think it was interesting to ponder. Like, how's there a forest on Io? That's like a sulfuric moon. It's one of the most unstable and inhospitable places in the solar system. Yeah, you really don't want to hang out in a corner like that. But because I had the spread shot, that made it a little more manageable. But yeah, you really want to stay mobile. Especially these blobby things. They love to spawn or drop into these corners. This is my boomstick. This shotgun is almost as satisfying as the Doom shotgun. I mean, what can really compare it to the Doom shotgun? But, you know, it's pretty good. There are certain situations where it's not the best thing to have, but... This is another level that doesn't have any keys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and skip the optional rooms. I mean, you can sometimes get to save other hostages, and if you're lucky, you might get, like, another weapon to carry forward, but... I think for just trying to beat the game, it's better to just go for the boss. Take that! Yes, 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 yes. Epic music. If you can't vibe to this, I don't know if we can be friends. I'm just saying. Alright, get the gas mask, and we're fully upgraded, folks. Oh, this is my favorite track in the game. It's music that makes you want to get good, yo. We're gonna listen to it for a second. Yes. It's so good. Oops. Okay. Don't get cocky, Jess. I don't really need to worry about collecting dog tags anymore. Some of these enemies and a little bit of the aesthetic of the level reminds me of, I think it's Panic Puppet Zone in Sonic 3D Blast, which is a good thing. I like that level. Of course, this is so much more metal. Alright, I don't need it yet. Hopefully, I won't need it at all. I mean, it was gonna disappear anyway, alright, so... As Leonard McCoy once said, if I'm gonna go crazy and start talking to myself. Oh, they make kosherized rules. Yes, I like to quote Jane Cobb. Deal with it. Lasers make everything better. Yes. Okay, we'll have to get a key card. When those guys die, it reminds me of the enemies that die in Metal Slug. Lots of nice little nods to Metal Slug in this, which I appreciate. It's harder for me to provide, like, the kind of commentary monologues that I have been on my other videos, because this game was just it's so intense, it requires so much of your direct attention that, I freaking love it. I mean, I'm just... like, it's so rewarding. It's like, yes, there are people out there that still know how to make a game with challenge. Besides, what, From Software and... so satisfying. Ooh, give me that minigun, I want it. I always think of Predator. It's like, this game is a workout. Like, in a good way. It's like, take that, Wii Fit, and... Cause yeah, it makes you want to headbang, for one thing. Oh shoot, oh shoot. Don't take unnecessary hits, Jessica. Oh, I want that, I want that. Okay. Shoot, 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 shoot. Don't take unnecessary hits. You're doing so well, don't screw it up. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, yes. Stay frosty, watch your corners. Thinking and hoping that the next room is the boss room. Yes, okay. Not that it's a total cakewalk, but this boss is a bit of a relief. It's more just a test of patience. Now, of course, on hard, for all I know, this is a much more difficult boss. Probably throws more projectiles at you and stuff, but... Just let me have ammo, please. can has ammo. Thank you. Oh yeah. Destruction of the bus is complete. One more level. And this level reminds me in all the best ways of the last area in Streets of Rage 1. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Pay yourself, buddy. Give me that. Give me that. Oh, yeah. So these dudes with the riot shields, the grenades are the easiest way to dispatch them, but there are other ways, and if I get a chance, I will show you. Because until I figured that out, they really pissed me off. It's like, before that I was like, I'm out of grenades, how am I supposed to deal with you? Alright, stop backing me into this corner, yeah. Oh shoot, oh shoot. Make me nervous. Don't make me nervous. Alright, stop spawning those turrets, please. Thank you. Appreciate ya. Oh yes, give me that. By the power of blast processing, I rocket thee. Look at the screen shake, isn't it glorious? It's so satisfying. Oh yes. Oh, come on. Can't stand grabbing the medkit and then immediately taking a hit. Okay. Yes, yes, I can as laser. So that also gets rid of the riot shield guys really nicely. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, yes. I can has crowd control. No, 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 no. Oh, that's frustrating. Come on, come on, come on. I think it's this room and then another room and I can get to the boss. Nope, 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 stop doing that, stop doing that. Oh, I missed him. no, 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 don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, come on. Get me out of this corner. Yes! Alright. So as long as you get to the boss, and you have not used any of those elixirs, you can unlock the real ending. Dr. Herzog. Herzog's Fi reference? Oh, yes. There was also a Darius reference. Or Darius. However you want to say it. Oh, sweet. Medkit. Too bad it wasn't a super medkit, but even so, I will take it. Oh yeah. We got this, man. We got it. Oh, no, no. Somehow I managed to get that. Wasting my ammo. He's only vulnerable when he opens up this thingy. This boss, it feels very Resident Evil. And Sarah kind of looks like Jill Valentine, so that works out, right? Yeah. Take that! Herzog's Fi not. Oh, how did I take a hit there? This especially looks like Resident Evil, right? Oh, shoot. Could've used some grenades right there. I don't really want to think about what this is like on hard. Oh, shoot. Fortunately, you are allowed to die here and still get the true ending. Still, I was hoping for a full one credit clear, but, you know, for the sake of this series, I will still take having to burn and continue. So nasty. Frustrate. Take that! Wait for it. Oh, I didn't quite make my last high score. That's okay. So play and gain in.
Xeno Crisis.
Bitmap Bureau, Xeno Crisis 2. Or if it hasn't been done already, Vinyl Vendetta on Mega Drive. In classic style, the end credits are a medley of the different tracks throughout the game. Awesome. Yeah. So, I didn't get to monologue pretty much at all about philosophy or ethics or the game industry or any of my personal story, really. This is one of those games that's just like, oof. Maybe if I play it even more, I can eventually have more of a running commentary and not... I don't know, who can say? This game's intense. But thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and thank you Bitmap Bureau for making an awesome game and keeping the 16-bit dream alive. Stay Mega driven, y'all.